Hello, adventurers, on what day is today? Who do I even know? Maybe a Thursday night? Hello, adventurers, on a Thursday night. I am running a live stream on YouTube and Twitch, and tonight we're talking about the Demogorgon. Demogorgon? Is that how you say it? I thought it was a Demigorgon. That's Demogorgon. That is a huge fiend, chaotic evil. It has two heads. It has two heads. One is supposed to be an ape, or they're both supposed to be apes. And this is it's a bones miniature. Can I get some more light on this here? There we go. This is the base. Already started hitting it with a little bit of ball red contrast. I'm gonna do gray, but the Demigorgon is, from Stranger Things, but it was actually in Dungeons and Dragons originally. I think it's in a first edition monster manual. It is a huge fiend. It's a demon. It's chaotic evil. And we'll talk about those stats in 1 minute. I just want to get my paint set up. I think this entire guy is getting yellow. And then we'll go over into browns. I'll bring it over to the screen here. I have the monster manual pulled up on my screen, and he is lots of yellows, lots of browns. And it's just going to be a big sloppy mess of painting. And I need a big sloppy mess of a brush. I'm definitely having a little bit of a brush shortage. I'll probably try to hit it with this pointy guy here. And my camera's like at a big angle to me. So, but yeah, let's talk about the Demigorgon. Demigorgon. This is one of the monsters in Out of the Abyss. It's also in the Monsters of the Multitude. Armor class is 22. He has a natural armor. 464 hit points. 464 hit points. That's a lot. And that's not even a max. I don't even want to feel like doing the math. 32 dice 12. That's 32 times 12. Plus 256 is his maximum hit points. There's a space on the head over here. Trying to see right here. A bit of a space in the head, but I'm just going to keep painting. I use speed paints and contrast paints. Not the best painter, but you know what? I get this job done. Getting a lot of painting done these past few days. Trying to build up the collection. So if we have different monsters coming out in our current D&D campaign, I'll have a nice list of them, and I will be able to pull out that monster. Although this guy is really a CR26 monster. So this is an end game big monster. So armor class 22, 464 hit points, could be much higher. 50-foot movement and a swim speed of 50. So, higher level characters would be able to get away from this guy. Strength of 29. Strength 29. That's plus 9. Dex 14. Probably one of his worst stats. His worst stat, actually, yep, is Dex. He has the Constitution of 28 plus 8, Intelligence of 20, a Wisdom of 17, and a Charisma of 25. That's a high charisma. Do you think people follow him as a demon lord or a fiend? So why his charisma is so high? Hope everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, you can also follow me on Instagram at Dark Alchemy Limited, and you can follow DM Evanson, our Forever Dungeon Master, at DM_Evanson.com. Adventures Wanted, subscribe today. We could always use more adventurers in our group here and on our YouTube channel. Okay, let's see. Saving throws. Plus 10 to Dex. So he's probably dodging a fireball, at least taking half damage, but he's also resistant to fire, so quarter damage from fireballs. Plus 16 Constitution save, plus 11 Wisdom save, and plus 15 Charisma saves. I don't know what's using Charisma saves that you'd be throwing at him, but chances are he's going to pass. Probably Charms. Insight plus 11. He can tell if you're lying. Perception plus 19. His passive perception is 29. So if you try to sneak into this guy's lair, you are not hiding from him. 29. You need to roll. Well, characters can definitely get over 30, but I mean, the passive perception is 29 plus true sight. So he can see anything within 120 feet. That is pretty nasty. He's resistant to cold, fire, and lightning. He's immune to poison, immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage is not magical. We're actually playing this World of Erendor campaign where we have the Silver Fang Society of Monster Hunters. And, the lower level monster hunters are coming across monsters that are immune to non-magical weapons. So, a la The Witcher, we gave them access to silvered weapons. Everybody gets one silvered weapon, and that silvered weapon acts as magical for that resistance. So they can pull out that silver sword or that silver crossbow and damage. Um, Speaks all languages and has telepathy of 120 feet. So, how would you play this monster if you appear in his lair or you come across him? He's going to talk to you, even if you don't want. He's got telepathy. He can go right into your mind and talk to you, speaking every language. Would he try to make a deal with you? Would he toy with you? Would he just outright kill you? I really like the way the contrast is just kind of filling in, even getting his mouth. And then you can just paint right over the contrast paint, right? Just paint right over it. We're going to get under his chin here. I'm being very sloppy and using a lot of this, but it's a large monster. And when I do these little streams, I try to do the sloppy monsters first because, I'm not really, paying super close attention. I'm trying to move this up a little bit here. Traits. Oh, we have a dog down here. Hello, Reggie. The traits are legendary resistance 3 times a day. If a Demogorgon fails his saving throw, he can automatically pass it 3 times a day. Choose to succeed. He has advantage on magic. Magic resistance has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Right up the butt here. He has 2 heads. The Demogorgon has advantage on saving throws against being blinded, deafened, stunned, or knocked unconscious. And I guess because he has those 2 heads, so he'll be able to function if one of those heads is knocked out. I guess Tiamat, that 5-headed dragon, probably has some sort of huge resistance against that too. His attack is a multi-attack. Demogorgon makes 2 tentacle attacks, place 1 attack with a gaze. His tentacle is a melee weapon attack with plus 17 to hit. Is he missing anything? 17 on a 1? Well, 1 would miss. So he rolls a 2. He's hitting a 19 armor class on a 2. So chances are he's hitting you, and you just have to take that damage from him every round. He does 28 points damage. That's 3 dice 12 plus 9 of force damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed a DC 23 saving throw. Constitution. If not, his maximum hit points are reduced by the amount of damage taken. This reduction lasts until the target finishes a long rest. If the reduction brings you to 0 hit points, you then die. So he's a hit point reducer. That's his only attack. So he's just basically hitting you with his tentacles. He's got 2 of them, but he also does have a gaze, which it's an attack, but it's more of a special ability. Very similar to a kind of a spell casting. Demogorgon turns his magical gaze towards one creature he can see within 120 feet of him. Again, guess what, guys? True sight. He can see everybody, even if you're hidden. Even if you're invisible, he can see you. The target must succeed a DC 23 wisdom save or suffer one of the following effects. Choose one or roll a d6. As a game master, I would probably roll. I like that little random factor there. I don't know what this demon's thinking, so let's roll the dice. On a 1 to 2, the beguiling gaze. The target is stunned until the start of the Demogorgon's next turn or until Demogorgon is no longer within sight. So he's hitting you with a big stun, and you're basically losing your action. If you're attacking this guy, you're probably with a group of level 20 adventurers, hopefully, or at least level 15. I think out of the Abyss Adventure, we went against Orcus, and everybody's level 15 by that time. But there was like 8 people in that game, or 6 or 8 people. So there was a lot of people attacking these larger monsters. On a 3 to 4 confusing gaze, the target suffers the effect of the confusion spell without making a saving throw. The effect lasts until the Demogorgon's next turn, and he doesn't need to concentrate. So, actual confusion spell. I have to look that up or hit that in a minute. Maybe I'll go back to it as I'm painting here. I take a break from him and do his base. I got most of them down. If anybody has comments, I can now show them. I guess that was hidden in my comments. On a 5 to 6, it has a hypnotic gaze. The target is charmed until the start of the Demogorgon's next turn. It chooses how many the charmed target uses as actual reaction and movement. So it takes control of the character. If that's a level 20 character, he's going to be dropping that level 20 fireball or level 9 fireball or whatever spell to mess with the adventurers. Just kind of laying him down, trying to finish him up. Probably let him dry overnight, and then I'll do the arm part of it, and then I'll go back and give him a good dry brush, and go over any spots I missed, and then I'll pick out the highlights for him. I'll do the teeth and the eyes and stuff like that. I'm just kind of wiping the face off so it doesn't get too obscured. Again, I think this is a Bones or Reaper model. I got it a long time ago. It's been sitting on my shelf forever, but I've been interviewing a lot of people with the Dark Alchemists, the Dead Professor Scott, and a lot of these people have these huge collections of miniatures and terrain, and we're kind of inspired to do that ourselves, making a spot in my garage to store all the stuff and organize it. I don't want to get to the point of our friend Todd Michael Putnam, who runs the creative tabletop group, because he says he has an entire bedroom with 7,000 miniatures in it, and that seems like too much. But it does become a true hobby, right? Oh, look at this fella. He's just gorgeous. He's just gorgeous with all his tentacles and his spiky parts and his yellowness. He has spell casting. So the Demogorgon casts one of the following spells requiring no material components and using charisma as a spellcasting ability. And his charisma is a 25, so he has a DC 23. He can detect magic at will. He can cast mirror image. That is just mean. So with all those hit points, on top of that, this guy can cast mirror image, which means when you attack him, there's a chance you're throwing these huge spells at him, and there's a chance you'll just miss and hit a mirror image. And then when that runs out, he's always going to have mirror image up. That is so unfair. This guy will always have mirror image up if it's at will. Well, no, I guess that's not true, because he's going to have to use an action to cast. He's going to use a legendary action to cast a spell. And he gets 2 legendary actions. It costs 2 to cast a spell. And then if you stop him from casting, then he will not be attacking. If he uses the legendary action to cast, then if you counterspell it, he will get those legendary actions at the beginning of his turn. Everybody will be able to go before him. Let's see what else. He can dispel magic 3 times a day, use fear and telekinesis, and once a day, feeble mind and project image. Again, he's got an intelligence of 20, so you want to play him as a smart character, as a smart monster. He's not going to be doing silly, stupid things. He is a major fiend from the lower planes and should be treated as such. His other legendary actions are he can use a beguiling gaze or confusing gaze. Oh, and actually, have a tail attack. His tentacle is his main action, but the legendary action can be a tail attack because he got this long tail. And that is going to be plus 17 to hit with a 15-foot reach, 1 target, 20 points damage, which is going to be 2 dice, 10 plus 9, up to 29. And then also on top of that, it's going to do 11 points. That will be 2d10, up to 20 points of necrotic damage. So let's put him off to the side here. Let him dry good and try not to get any paint on my other miniatures I'm working on. He has this nice base here, which I already started red. I kind of figured as blood or maybe painted as lava in the lower planes. And I'm just going to hit this with this gray contrast paint. But moving on, this is the Prince of Demons, the sibilant beast, the master of the spiraling depths. Demogorgon is the embodiment of chaos, confusion, and destruction, seeking to corrupt all that is good and undermine the order of the multiverse, to see everything drag howling into the infinite depths of the abyss. The Demon Lord is a meld of different forms. He has a saurian lower body and with clawed and webbed feet and sucker tentacles. So he's got that, like we were painting him, he has that reptilian body, and those tentacles are almost octopus-like. They sprout from his shoulders, and he's a great ape-like torso, which is mounted by two hideous simian heads. So they are ape heads. So reptilian body, ape heads, and I remember seeing this picture in the original Monster Manual, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and the first edition Monster Manual. Was just a hand drawing, and they really kept his form and his look and brought him to life. So let's talk about the Demogorgon's lair. So we talked about the Demogorgon stats, but the lair actually has lair actions. So in fifth edition and in the previous editions, they gave lair actions. So if you're in the bad guy's home base, whether it's a Vampire Strahd's castle or the Demogorgon's lair in the abyss. Have I seen Arkham Hobbies and Hangout? Thank you for jumping on here. Have I seen? Oh, I can actually post this up here. Show on stage. And we'll go back. Have I seen Archvillain's Demogorgon STL? No, I haven't. So I don't know. You just jumping on here. I have the. This is a Demogorgon from Bones or Reaper I got a while ago. I am a huge 3D printer, so I would love to get it, but I have this one, and I'll just bring it over here. This is the current project I was kind of working on today. We have the Pumpkin King. These are all 3D printed. Vampire, female vampire 3D printed, werewolf 3D printed, Pumpkin King 3D printed, and Pumpkin Golem 3D printed. I've been really into the Halloween kind of look. But I'm going to check out Archvillain's Demogorgon and see if they have any other Demogorgon files, or sorry, any other files that maybe I want to pick up in 3D prints. Let's talk about the lair actions. All right, move that from stage. Lair actions. Initiative count 20, losing initiative ties. The Demogorgon can take one of the following lair actions. Cast darkness 4 times, different areas. So he's going to drop darkness everywhere. And guess what? Once again, he has true sight, 120 feet. He's going to drop darkness, and he will not have any disadvantage on his attacks. He can't take the same lair action twice in a row. So, next time he can't just, drop more darkness. Illusionary duplicate. Now, this is another unfair because he's going to create an illusionary duplicate of himself, but he already has the ability to do mirror image at will and project image using his legendary actions. The Demogorgon creates an illusionary duplicate of himself, which appears in a space and lasts until initial count 20 next round. On his turn, Demogorgon can move the illusionary duplicate a distance equal to his walking speed, no action, so it's going to move 50 feet. The first time a creature or object interacts with him, for example, hitting, it's a 50-50 chance. I have no idea how this would actually stack, with mirror image. So if he had mirror image, he have 3 duplicates of himself, and then he do a duplicate for the 4th one. So there's going to be 5 Demogorgons. The first time you attack him, then there's a 50-50 chance it's not him. And then after that, you actually have to see if you hit him or you hit one of his mirror images. It just seems like shenanigans. Regional effects. So this is what happens around the Demogorgon's lair. It's mostly used for a dungeon master to say as you get closer to this area, you kind of experience the effects that are going on. Beguiling realm. Within 6 miles of the lair, all charisma persuasion checks, charisma performance checks have disadvantage, and all deception checks and intimidation checks for charisma have advantage. That's kind of fun. I like it. I dig it. When you tell your players that, you're trying to perform and take disadvantage, it might say why do I have disadvantage? And I guess you just kind of describe that this area just kind of feels kind of weird. And then if they're lying, you're like, yeah, it's easier to lie around here for some reason. I think that'd be fun. They actually have no idea what's going on yet. Frenzied animals. Beasts within 1 mile of the lair become frenzied and violent. Even creatures that are normally docile. In that area, any check with animal handling has disadvantage. And venomous beast. Area within 6 miles of the lair becomes overpopulated with poisonous snakes. The actual poisonous snake monster. I think I turn it this way. And everything's still wet, but oh, maybe not the other way. Everything's still wet, but I don't care because this is just the initial kind of paint. I have the. Sorry, guys, trying to figure this out here. I guess he might have stretched out a little bit. She doesn't fit on there. He should fit on there, but he doesn't. So I'm gonna have to cut and modify that. Get a little more light in this guy here. So that's just the initial start of the Demogorgon. Let's see that base there. I appreciate everybody just jumping on. I'm just still experimenting with StreamYard. I'm streaming this on Twitch and on YouTube. We appreciate any subscriptions to YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000. We just hit over 500. We have some interviews coming up this week. Look for our interview with the Facebook creator of Creative Tables, talking about D&D terrain. And we also have an interview with a gentleman who created modules. We interviewed Ron from Page. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to show it on stage. Arkham Hobbies. You are saying to me, I'm going to start dinner. Okay, well, it's getting late. If you ever want to do a sit and paint, I'm down. I want to teach John Logbox how to paint minis. Yeah, Arkham, it sounds good. I'll reach out to you. I'm good friends with John. Thank you for jumping on and following. I guess you found him through us. Found us through him. I appreciate that. And I don't know if John's a huge mini painting guy, but he would probably like to paint his miniature, the Patriarch. So maybe we'll each have one miniature to paint. And I think the Patriarch will probably go pretty good with a white contrast paint, just hit it with purple highlights. So I'll reach out to you and maybe we'll do an interview with whatever you're doing with Arkham Hobbies. I appreciate that. Have a great night. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate it. And look for this Sunday's show. 11 a.m. Sunday, we'll be streaming a recorded show. Thank you. Drawing. Oh, you're drawing a book. You're drawing a book from him. Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to talk to you about artwork, books, and we're a Dungeon Dragons channel, but I would love to talk to you about the book. And yeah, let's make that happen. I will definitely contact you. You can find me on Instagram too. Send me a message on Instagram. That is going to be at Dark Alchemy Ltd. Dark Alchemy Ltd on Instagram. And that's probably the best way to message me there to remind me, and we'll set up an interview. Thank you. Have a great night and have a great dinner. Night, everybody. Bye.